Good morning, all of you. Let us take a look at this JEE question from 1989. This question was from the chapter Thermodynamics and it was a 8 marks question. Let us first go through the wording of the question and analyze it. An ideal monatomic gas is confined in a cylinder by a spring loaded piston of cross section 8 into 10 power minus 3 meter square. So I have represented the gas by these round spheres which you can see here. Each sphere represents one atom of the gas. So this is one sphere, so a monoatomic gas. Next, this gas is confined in a cylinder. So you can see that this is a cylinder here and this gas is confined to this volume. See, I have removed this part of the cylinder so we can see what is present inside the cylinder. Actually, this is closed. So I have removed it so that you can see the process which is happening inside the cylinder. Next, what he is saying is that there is a piston here and it is attached to a spring. And the area of this piston, the cross section area is capital A, which he has given here. Initially, the gas is at 300 Kelvin and occupies a volume 2.4 into 10 power minus 3 meter cube, and the spring is in its relaxed state. So initially this gas is at a temperature T0 and it occupies a volume V0, which the values he has given here, and the spring is in its relaxed state, which means in the spring there is neither extension nor compression. The gas is heated by a small heater until the piston moves out slowly by 0.1 meter. Okay, so we can see here that this is a heater and it starts heating the gas and the piston then slowly moves out by a distance of 0.1 meter. We are representing it by L0. Calculate the final temperature of the gas and heat supplied by the heater. So in its final state, we need to calculate the temperature of the gas and what is the heat supplied, total heat supplied by this heater. Next, the force constant of spring is 8000 Newton per meter. So this is spring constant is K and atmospheric pressure is 10 power 5 Newton per meter square. We'll just take it as P ATM. The cylinder and the piston are thermally insulated, which means no heat can escape from this cylinder or piston. The piston is massless and there is no friction between the piston and the cylinder. So this piston here is massless and the surface of the cylinder is smooth and there is no friction between these two surfaces. The heat capacity of the heater coil is negligible. What he means by this is, see, he's asking one question here, right? Heat supplied by the heater. So when heat is supplied by this heater, you're seeing that it is getting red hot. There will be some energy taken by the heater while increasing the temperature of itself, right? So what he means here is all the heat which is given by the heater is taken up by the gas and there is no heat taken up by the heater. Okay. Next, assume the spring to be massless. So he's saying that the spring here is massless. Firstly, we'll be calculating the final temperature of the gas. The concept we'll be using here is we'll be equating the number of moles in the initial state and the final state of the gas. The gas is confined in the cylinder, there is no loss of gas, so the number of moles are equal in its initial and final state. So we will be equating the number of moles. So firstly, we'll look at the initial state of the gas. Firstly, we can say that this piston is in equilibrium. So the net force on it is 0. The force on it due to the gas equals the force on it due to the atmosphere. So we can say P gas into cross section area equals to P ATM into cross section area area we can cancel, and we can say pressure of the gas initially is equal to the atmospheric pressure. So we are denoting the initial pressure by P naught. So P naught equals to 10 power 5 Newton per meter square. He has given T naught equals to 300 Kelvin and V naught equals to 2.4 into 10 power minus 3 meter cube. Using these thermodynamic variables, we can calculate the number of moles of the gas. Let's next look at the final state of the gas. In the final state of gas, again this piston here is in equilibrium. So we can say the force on the piston due to gas is pressure of gas into area. Next, the force due to the atmosphere on the piston is P atmosphere into area. As the spring is compressed here, it exerts a force K into L naught. We discussed that it was compressed by L naught. So it exerts a force K into L naught in this direction. Now all these forces must be balanced so that the piston is in equilibrium. So we can say P gas into A equals to P ATM into A plus K into L naught. Next, I'll just divide by the area of the piston. So we get P gas equals to P ATM plus K L naught divided by area. I'm just putting in the values here. We'll take the final pressure of the gas as P1 equals to ATM pressure is 10 power 5 plus spring constant is given as 8000. The length moved by the piston is 0.1 divided by the cross section area, which is 8 into 10 power minus 3 meter square. When we calculate this, we get the final pressure of the gas is 2 into 10 power 5 Newton per meter square. Next, let's have a look at the final volume of the gas. So initially this was the volume of the gas and finally it has expanded to this much. So we can say the final volume equals the initial volume plus this extra volume which it has expanded. So let us say V1 is the final volume. V1 equals to initial volume plus area of cross section into L naught. So A into L naught. So that is V naught, which is 2.4 into 10 power minus 3 plus area of cross section is 8 into 10 power minus 3 into L naught is 0.1. So we get the final volume of the gas as 3.2 into 10 power minus 3 meter cube. So now we know the final pressure and final volume of the gas. So in the initial state of the gas, we are writing all the variables here, and in the final state of the gas, we are writing all the variables here. The only one which we do not know is T1. We'll just equate the initial number of moles to the final number of moles and find out what is T1. So the number of moles is PV by RT. We are writing P naught V naught by RT naught, which is the initial number of moles, equals P1 V1 by RT1, which is equal to the final number of moles of the gas. Next, we can write T1 equals to P1 V1 into T naught by P naught V naught. I'm just taking this term this side and this term to the denominator. So we get the final temperature of the gas as 800 Kelvin. The next question is, what is the total heat which is given by the heater to the gas? I will be discussing that in the next part.